Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the 2024 thriller Heretic. Stay tuned as we break down the twists and turns of this chilling film. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more movie recaps. At the beginning of the film, we are introduced to two sisters who work for a new church, Sister Paxton and Sister Barnes. Their primary task is to recruit new members for the church. Those who accept their invitation are personally visited at their homes to receive further information about the church. During their journey, the sisters encounter a group of girls who begin bullying Sister Paxton. This causes her to cry, revealing her innocent and kind-hearted nature. Observing her distress, Sister Barnes reassures her, telling her that crying won't help in life and that she needs to build resilience. As they continue their conversation, they arrive at their destination. The weather takes a turn, and it begins to rain heavily, soaking the sisters. Despite this, they proceed to Mr. Reed's house, where they are expected to answer questions about their faith. Mr. Reed invites them inside, but Sister Barnes hesitates, citing a rule in their church that prohibits them from entering a home without a woman present. Mr. Reed reassures them, mentioning his wife, who is preparing blueberry pies in the kitchen. The aroma of fresh blueberries wafts through the air, and the sisters, convinced, agree to enter. Once inside, they dismount their bicycles and remove their wet coats, handing them to Mr. Reed. He reassures them that his wife will be out shortly to meet them. The conversation then shifts as Mr. Reed inquires about their personal lives. He learns that both sisters grew up in the church. Mr. Reed proceeds with a series of questions, starting with, "Do you believe in God?" To this, both sisters affirm their faith. He then shows them the Book of Mormon, explaining that Joseph Smith, the founder of their faith, did not believe in any religion before an angel appeared to him during a time of hardship. The angel's intervention led Smith to embrace religion and God. Mr. Reed asks, "Do you believe Joseph Smith's teachings are true?" Both sisters confidently agree, stating that God is indeed a part of this world. The conversation then takes a deeper turn. Mr. Reed asks, "Do you believe in an afterlife?" Again, they affirm their belief in life after death. Sister Paxton adds that when she dies, she envisions herself as a butterfly, perched on the fingers of her loved ones, letting them know she is still with them in spirit. Mr. Reed then challenges them with a final question. Is it acceptable for a man to marry more than one woman? Sister Paxton immediately responds, "No, I don't think that's right." Mr. Reed presses further, asking, "Why?" Sister Barnes chimes in, explaining that although the church permits polygamy, it is done to increase membership. The more members in a family, the more the church's influence grows. Mr. Reed responds, "That's not the true reason. Joseph Smith married multiple women for his pleasure, and others followed suit, using religion as justification." This revelation leaves both sisters shocked and speechless. Mr. Reed, with his vast knowledge, begins to share his insights with the sisters. He tells them that after studying many religions, his conclusion is that the more you read, the less you seem to understand about them. He then stands up, leaves the lounge, and heads toward another room. He invites them to meet his wife if they wish, but something doesn't feel right to the sisters. It's pitch dark inside, and as Sister Paxton lights a candle, she realizes it's a blueberry-scented candle. This small detail confirms that Mr. Reed was lying. His wife wasn't in the house, and no blueberry pie was being baked. Suspicious, the sisters pretend to call the church for help, but Mr. Reed is one step ahead. He informs them that the walls of his house are made of metal, preventing any signals from entering or leaving. The realization hits them. They are trapped. Sister Barnes suggests that they speak to Mr. Reed directly, hoping he might let them go. They follow him to another room, which strangely resembles a church. Once inside, they urgently ask to leave, but Mr. Reed calmly explains that he hasn't imprisoned them. The front door will open in the morning, as it is controlled by a timer. He tells them they can use the back doors to exit, but when they try both, they find they lead to a basement. This only deepens their sense of entrapment. They now understand that Mr. Reed has deliberately confined them in his house. Meanwhile, back at the church, the father grows increasingly worried as the sisters have still not returned. He decides to go looking for them, but the sisters, now fully aware that they are trapped, know that Mr. Reed won't let them leave. Inside the house, Mr. Reed casually begins to converse with them, showing them a game of Monopoly, along with several other games that bear striking similarities to well-known ones, albeit with different names. He explains the point of the games. Though they are essentially the same, people still enjoy them. At this point, Sister Barnes notices a letter opener on the table. She discreetly takes it, preparing herself in case things take a dangerous turn. Mr. Reed continues his philosophical monologue, placing 3 holy books on the table before them. He claims to have read all 3, asserting that the same teachings are present in each, suggesting that only one religion is true and the others are mere imitations. He goes as far as to say that the sisters' church is a fraud, though he cannot determine who has copied whom. As he speaks, Sister Barnes reaches into her coat pocket, only to realize that the keys to their bicycles are missing. The sense of unease grows as they realize the full extent of Mr. Reed's manipulation. As Sister Paxton notices the jingling of the keys in her pocket, it dawns on them both. Mr. Reed has trapped them. The realization strikes that he must have tampered with their bicycles as well. Paxton now holds the keys to their bikes, a grim symbol of their entrapment. Despite understanding the manipulation and enduring Mr. Reed's lecture, Paxton stands firm in her beliefs. She declares, "Whatever you say, after hearing your lecture, I still believe in my God and my religion." In response, Mr. Reed writes belief and disbelief above the 2 doors, telling them that if they truly believe in God, they should go through the door labeled belief. He challenges them, saying that he will observe whether God will guide them. Without hesitation, the sisters enter the door belief, confident in their faith. Inside, it's pitch black, and they use their phone lights to illuminate the space. They discover a table, a chair, and a faraway window that's sealed shut with wooden boards. The sisters try to break the seal with the chair, but it proves to be futile. Sister Barnes hands Paxton the letter opener, which she had secretly taken earlier, and says, "I'll distract him with words. When I say the right verses, attack him immediately. We'll escape together." While the sisters plan their next move, a woman wrapped in a shawl suddenly appears near them, holding a pie that smells of poison. She begins reading some verses aloud. Mr. Reed's voice echoes, explaining that this woman is a prophet and will die after eating the poisonous pie. After her death, she will speak about the afterlife. Although the sisters are shocked by this, they remain in place, forced to witness the impossible. Sister Barnes notices a model of the house that Mr. Reed has created. In this model, he manipulates the figures of the girls, placing them wherever he desires, like puppets in his twisted game. While Mr. Reed is distracted, Sister Barnes attempts to open the door marked disbelief in hopes of finding another way out. However, when she opens the door, she discovers that it also leads to the basement. Realizing they are further trapped, she finds a matchstick, but it's just out of her reach. She quickly returns to the door of belief. When she returns, the woman, the so-called prophet, has died after consuming the poisonous pie. Mr. Reed asks the sisters to check her pulse, confirming that she is indeed dead. He then casually tells them that she will soon awaken and speak about her experience in the afterlife. Just as this conversation unfolds, the doorbell rings. The sisters immediately realize that their father has arrived, likely searching for them. However, Mr. Reed lies, claiming that no one is currently in the house. Since the bicycles are not outside, the father is deceived and leaves, unaware of the truth. Meanwhile, the sisters have obtained the matchstick from Reed's room, hoping to use it as a signal to alert their father that they are trapped. However, by the time they attempt to make their signal, The father has already left. Suddenly, the so-called prophet, who had died after eating the poison pie, miraculously comes back to life. As she regains consciousness, she cryptically tells the sisters that what she saw after death was not heaven and wasn't real at all. Before they can process her words, Mr. Reed enters the room and takes her away. Sister Barnes, still in disbelief, refuses to accept what they have just witnessed. Sister Paxton, still reeling from the shock, demands to know how Reed managed to pull off such a feat. "How did you do this? She died and I checked her pulse," she says, confused and frightened. Reed responds calmly, "Maybe it was her near-death experience. I had one in my childhood too. When I was about to die, I hallucinated similar things, but then God gave me a new life." While Reed is speaking, Sister Barnes uses the distraction to speak the magical verses she had planned. This was the moment Paxton had been waiting for. She was supposed to strike, but before Paxton could act, Reed swiftly grabbed a knife and stabbed Sister Barnes in the neck. Paxton is horrified. "What did you do?" she cries. Reed simply responds, "This girl isn't real, she's a simulation." After killing her, he takes a chip from Barnes's injured hand and holds it up for Paxton to see. "This is her chip," he says smugly. Paxton, undeterred, retorts, "That's not a chip. It's a birth control implant. I know exactly how you've done all of this. The woman you called a prophet, she didn't die from the poison pie. You swapped her out. The first woman died, and then you replaced her with another. I noticed the change in their methods when we went upstairs for the matchsticks. This was all part of your plan." Paxton pauses for a moment, her eyes narrowing as she recalls the details. "I know there's a pit in the basement where the woman's real body must be hidden," she adds. Reed bursts into laughter. "How will you prove it?" he taunts. Paxton doesn't hesitate. "I'll find the secret passage," she says, her voice firm. Reed scoffs. "There is no secret passage." Undeterred, Paxton heads back to the basement. To her surprise, her theory proves correct. She discovers the woman's real body in the basement, just as she suspected. She returns to Reed, declaring, "I told you, it's all part of your controlled plan." Rather than show anger, Reed smiles, pleased that Paxton has finally figured everything out. He wanted her to understand the truth. Now that she knows, Paxton begins to piece together the full extent of Reed's manipulation. She recalls the room where her bike lock was used. Using the key she still holds, Paxton opens the door and finds a number of women imprisoned inside. Reed steps forward and asks, "Did you figure out which one is the true religion?" Paxton, her voice heavy with pain and frustration, begins to speak. "It was all planned from the moment we arrived. You took our coats, took the keys to our bikes, and kept them locked inside. You controlled every step we took. This entire situation was under your control, and now you want to prove that the real religion is the one that controls us." She pauses, her eyes filled with sorrow. "You're trying to show that the religion we follow is just another form of control, that it's not our thought, but a system making us follow blindly." Reed, pleased that Paxton finally understands, nods in agreement. "Yes, all religions control their followers." Paxton's expression hardens as a deep sadness fills her. With a final, determined motion, she pulls the letter opener from her coat, the one Sister Barnes had given her, and drives it into Reed's neck, killing him instantly. Without wasting a moment, Paxton rushes upstairs, heading straight for the room where Reed had built the model of the house. She searches desperately for an exit, but as she opens the door, she discovers that all the doors in the house are interconnected. The house is a maze, and every door leads back into the same trap. Paxton roams through the house in a desperate attempt to escape, only to find herself right back where she started. She realizes with a sinking feeling that there's no way out of this house. Anxiety consumes her as she is confronted by the injured Reed, who, with one final act of malice, stabs her. On the verge of death, Paxton hears Reed's voice. "You believe in God," he says. "He will listen to us. Pray for us." In this moment, Paxton understands that, despite everything, Reed also believes in God, but has been leading others astray for reasons unknown. With what little strength she has left, Paxton begins to pray. In that moment, something unexpected happens. Sister Barnes, trembling but alive, enters the room. Paxton's heart lifts at the sight of her companion. Grabbing a piece of wood, she plunges it into Reed's neck, killing him. At first, Paxton feels a sense of relief. The man who had terrorized them is dead, and Sister Barnes is with her once more. However, that sense of victory is short-lived. After a brief moment, Sister Barnes succumbs to her injuries and dies in Paxton's arms. Devastated, Paxton retreats upstairs. In the room with the model of Reed's house, she notices something she hadn't seen before: an open window. Her heart races as she makes her way toward it. With determination, she opens the window and escapes, finally free from the house's sinister grip. As she steps outside, a butterfly lands gently on her hand. Paxton smiles softly, realizing that it is the spirit of Sister Barnes, come to reassure her that she will always be with her. In that moment, Paxton's belief in the afterlife is solidified, but just as quickly as it arrived, the butterfly vanishes, leaving Paxton with a sense of peace and closure. And with that, the story ends. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this recap of Heretic, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a new video. Catch you next time with more movie breakdowns. Until then, take care and stay safe.